stream. I hope y'all are doing well, and hopefully everyone's day was good on this Wednesday today. Um, my day was busy once again. It was another typical busy day. Just, you know, the adult reality of things and all that. And so, um, yeah, but anyway, enough of that. If you're new here, welcome. And if you are a returning subscriber of mine who's been here before or a moderator, welcome back. Feel free to hit the like and subscribe button plus the notification bell down below so um you can be all up to date with latest content that comes from me, but also when I go live and all that. And to never miss anything that comes out in the future from me as well. And all I'm gonna say right now while we're in the beginning of the live is please, 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 please be sure to be respectful and not spam the chat. Don't be disrespectful to me or my mods or to any other subscriber who's in here because I don't want them to have an experience and get spooked off by someone being stupid. Because I mean, y'all, I've already have had haters in lives before, and the thing is, y'all, with me, I try not to play victim because who wants to do that? Not me. And so, um, that's why usually I've got a good amount of mods in here, so that way if someone does begin to act out, then they can be like that and not me have to go slow as heck on y'all. But I do trust a majority of y'all that have came in here so far. So a big shout out to those of you who've done pretty well about respecting all of the rules on here and all that. That just helps me out so much and all that. And so, um, yeah. Anyway, we're just hanging out though right now. So feel free to say hey in the comments and ask questions. Just be sure to be appropriate of what you ask. Just because, you don't know what someone's went through. And I hate if somebody asked me or someone else in the comment section something and them feel a certain way about it. I don't want I don't want to make nobody or myself feel bad or uncomfortable just by something that was asked. And I I always make sure to put y'all's safety and my safety first on here, and then we worry about the other things next on here. Um, hey there. Um, Hang on. I'm just sorry, my phone's so far from me, so I gotta kind of zoom a little bit. Bella, I see you're new here. Welcome. Sorry to zoom my phone a little bit close to me, just because my eyesight was kind of. Hang on, y'all. Sorry, I was turning my lighting up so it's a little easier to read. But yeah, I could tell you're new here. Um, let's see. Um, Mark. Wait, who am I reading? Candy. Carney. Okay, there we go. There's your name. I couldn't tell. I see you're new here too, so welcome as well. And if some of you guys have a full different name and I'm not pronouncing you by, let me know so I don't try to butcher it. You know? Um, but yeah. Anywhere. Hey there, Caleb. That's a interesting name. I could tell that you're new, so welcome. Bella, yes, I'm new. Yeah, I could tell you're new because I could tell a good majority of when subscribers are new here and when they're returning. Some returning I might get confused by because I get a lot of new subscribers on here every day, so it's always hard to keep track, which is fine, y'all. Because hey, the more new people we get, the better it is. And that's also how a community forms, is by gaining people and adding more, not taking away people, because that just doesn't make sense, you know, and all that. Have a good day as well there, Caleb. I'm glad that you came in here. But y'all feel free to hit the like button up here as well to share the love on here, but also to show YouTube that we're a good live stream on here and that we're doing our part and all that. And it's always good to show them that we're doing everything and all that. And so, um, yeah, Caleb, so cute. First of all, thanks. There's nothing crazy there that I did. It's just me in my PJs relaxing and my hair just tied back in a ponytail. Nothing crazy is what I will say. So it's nothing too crazy that I did. And also my glasses too, so I can see and read stuff. Cause y'all, good luck with me trying to read the comment section without them. Cause it would suck to be me. But also this eye would be one thing too. But you know, it's also medical reasons as well. So, um, can you can you hear me? Yeah? Anywho, hang on. Let me sit up real quick, y'all. Y'all, only 8 more minutes until my boyfriend gets off work for the day. And then he's back in swing tomorrow. So, yay. But I hope everyone's day was good. And all that, too. For me, my day was busy. It was a busy day, but it was good overall. And all that. But, um, yeah. And so, um, Bella, how you get how you get motivation to come in front of the camera. I'm trying, but every time my insecurity hits me. Bella, let me say this. It takes, for anyone really, it takes a lot of gut, honestly. Like, I'll tell you, it's kind of like if you're talking in front of an audience, as an example, like in front of a crowd of people. Um, I mean, it's kind of the best description is it's kind of like you're talking to um a friend or something, or you're recording yourself talking to yourself and acting like you're another person kind of talking. That's the best way to put it. But with y'all, it's like, y'all aren't, I don't get, and I'm not the person, I do get nervous regardless in front of talking in front of people, but not like this kind of way where I'm going camera and y'all are seeing responses. Because, y'all in person, ugh, it's like anyone, though. But, but in general, though, it takes a lot to really get the confidence to get onto a live stream or make a video and do what you do. And it's really just the gut in you and trusting your instincts and believing that you can do it and that you because I feel like times that people are in your situation, it's like they're trying to let their mind flip itself, meaning they're trying to let their mind have the freaking enemy get into them and tell them they can't do it. When you can, because at the end of the day, you know you can do it. You know you can do it because of how well you do with either maybe talking with a friend or maybe sharing experiences with someone. And it doesn't have to be in front of like a group of people. It can be maybe like think about the best way honestly though is think about if you're talking with like um friends, but let's say other people, or let's just say you share something on your mind and others are hearing in on it. It's kind of like that because you don't get the instinct in you, but also it takes a lot of gut just to you know do it. And so, who else do I see in here? Um, Rabar, I see you're new. Welcome. That's a cool name too. Do you ever play bingo? Sometimes. It's fun though, but not often. It's been a while since I've played bingo. To answer your question, um, every time I put out a camera and I think what people will think and they judge. Well, Bella, first of all, I will say this. Do you, but do not let others try to judge you. Because, first of all, people don't know how to think straight sometimes. I'm not saying for right now's audience is doing that, but the thing that matters is imagine if the best way about it is grab your camera out, and a best way to also try my dad's being crazy expert. Um, the best way to also do it too is by I'm sorry, my dad just burped so loud, so that just kind of gave the interruption. Oh my god. Oh, my dad's crazy. But anyway, like I was saying before, his crazy interruption in the background, even though he's next door, and he knows what he did too. Um, and what was I saying before that? Oh yeah, so yeah, because the thing is, don't let other people try to say rude things to you, or even attempt to. Because let me say this, I have had haters come in here before. And I have not been the type of person who the way I react to hate comments is the depression kind of state where after that I start crying and just go crazy at myself. I just act like I just read something in gibberish. That's the best way to act like it. So for example, if you're um starting like a video or live yourself and you are trying to and you're thinking how are they gonna react to you, and let's say maybe one or two people are talking stupidity in there, all you do is you know don't act like, don't let the thoughts get to you, but also when you do read the comments, act like if let's say if you approach a rude comment, act like you are reading that in gibberish or in a whole other language you don't understand. That's the best way possible to understand things like that. And for someone like me who's done content for 6 years at this point, I mean I've done videos, but for live streaming though wise though, I've done it for probably over a year or close to a year and a half or so. But it was because of, I mean, I've had a good amount of subscribers, but I think it was probably because of my age at that time. And so, um, yeah, hang on. And my boyfriend's officially done with work for the day. But, um, Scarlett, I see you're new here as well. Sandra, welcome back. How are you doing? Collecting data. They're in the bed and we all rolled. You fell out? Anywho, so what was I thinking? But yeah, um, Bella, that's me answering your question. But um, oh, shut up, my neck. Anyway, crazy. But right now I'm just chilling, hanging out. So feel free to ask questions. Be polite for anyone coming in here, or that's just now coming in the chat. And yeah. Thank you. As I start getting weight for past few years, I'm not saying it's bad. It's just seeing myself in mirror still too hard, and same thing with camera, cause as people prove being fat is bad. Girl, first of all, being fat is not bad. Trust me. Let me just say this. Appearance is not what matters here. All that matters is that you are having fun yourself. You don't care what you think, say, or do. You act like you know what you're doing. And others will know it too. And they'll love you for it. Regardless. But also, appearance does not matter. And sure, okay, a few people can think thoughts like that all they want at you, but that does not give them the freaking audacity to target at you and even try to make comments at you. Like saying, hey, you're fat, hey, you should lose weight, hey, all the crazy things around that. You know? Alright? So if I were you, Bella, I would not let people get to you like that because they're going through stuff too, but sometimes they choose to mask that just to be rude to others, to make them feel their misery. You know? And like I said, I'm saying this with previous experience on here, but also with just things in general that anyone would do, you know? Oh, wow. But yeah. Um and so um it's not the way. Hey there, Russell. I see you're new here. Welcome. Don't let others influence what you think about. Exactly. Russell, that's a good point for us as well. You know, you know who you are at the end of the day, and you wake up for you. You work for you. when things hit the fan. No one shows up for you but you. Okay, wow. Russell reading some of that is wow. That makes me even it's hitting me too a little bit. Gosh, wow. Some of that I kind of needed at the end of the day to think as well. So that's a good point for everyone. Of course, Bella. I've, like I said, even you're, I'll tell you, you're on a good community um channel where a good half of us on here, I mean, there might be a few that will come and act dumb, but I have mods block them quick so we don't deal with them. And I occasionally will pitch him, but I don't try to because that'll make me crazy. And that'll just be too much attention at once for my brain to be handling and all that. And so, for example, you'll have a good variety of people on this channel that are really nice and are really good about things that they've went through, and that's also one thing, y'all, is a community of people is not just people. Being in a community is also being there for one another and helping one another through a tough season because y'all we all on here go through seasons of anything, whether if it be depression, health, finances, work, or trying to master something, or trying to reach a goal you've wanted to achieve for so long, but you haven't had the chance, or it just hasn't happened yet, or, anything like that. And it takes a lot of time, y'all, for things like that to happen. You just have to have the faith in you and just trust your gut and knowing that what will happen is the best thing to do and not stress about it at the end of the day. Like, as an example, y'all, I'll tell you guys, it took me 4 years to get a job. Like, it took me 4 years in general to get a job because some of you that are new to me, I'll say this to y'all. I do have a disability, and sometimes when sometimes when you have a disability, I mean, it's not like for me it doesn't affect my job, but mainly when you're someone who has a learning disability but also a main disability. So for me, I am a 20-year epileptic. I have had epilepsy ever since I was born, and I at one point in my life when I was almost 2, I had to go under intense brain surgery just to save my life and help my seizures be a lot more managed. And they had to remove most of my right side of the brain, like almost the complete right side, which is the upper campus of the brain, to control the seizures I had. I mean, sure, I now get them, but it's not like as terrible as they used to be. But then, y'all, but also, um, when I was younger, like I'm talking childhood years, was when they were crazy and through the roof. Like, there were a couple points I was hospitalized for it, and, you know, and whew, those are not the best times. I will say that. And, yeah, you know, and nowadays, I mean, sure, it's hard to process it all, but you just gotta do your best to get through the day. and and really nowadays, really the only thing that makes me nuts is my side effects due to the medication I take. And it's really more just the side effects, not like the full, but a lot of it's also leans toward from that surgery as well, but it just wasn't really showing effectively for not until a couple years ago. But and now even ever since I started working, it's like even I even asked a couple of my doctors I'm like on some of it to kind of just give me a sense because with work I'm trying not to have to feel like I'm, you know, cuz the thing is with me is I get horrible headaches and dizzy spells just from the meds. But but basically it works seizure wise. It's just the side effects is what it does to me and how my brain and all that processes everything. And mm, yeah, I'll tell you, I hate it. Like I hate it so freaking much that I wish I didn't go through it. I wish I was not even um I just on and for me I just honestly wish I didn't have epilepsy to start with because if I didn't, then I wouldn't have had to go through this pain on my own, even though I'm not alone, but I just wouldn't have to go through it and I can feel a little normal in myself. But, and even, I will say this, after, um, even after the brain surgery, something that the doctor said that there might be a chance that I wouldn't possibly would have been able to walk, talk, speak, jump, skip, or even achieve milestones at normal life. Like for example, getting a job, going to college, even I'm not doing college, but as an example, going to school, graduating high school, making friends, being a part of things, and living like an adult, meaning living on my own one day, or driving, or anything. But y'all, 20 and a half years later, I'm walking, I'm talking, I'm standing, and I'm doing all of the things that the doctor said that that might have been not possible for me. But y'all, look at me, for real. 20 and a half years later, I'm 20 years old, almost 21 years old in the next 3 months. And I can't believe I'm saying that, honestly. And also, I now have an amazing boyfriend who loves me and um he has always he's always has been there for me since day one and it's been pretty well since and all that. But y'all, even just I will say this, even sharing your testimony or even parts of it or a hint of or even just a part of your life a little bit with others might even impact other that person or more people because at the end of the day you don't know what someone's going through until you tell them something about yourself or maybe they felt it because maybe they knew someone that's going through something similar or they went through something themselves, you know? And at the end of the day, we don't give ourselves the enough credit that we should be giving ourselves, you know? And it's one of those that, you know, just gotta wake up each day and show up and do the best you can, even when it's difficult. Because, oof, even, I'll tell you guys this. Um, when you're somebody with a disability, y'all, let me just say this. A disability does not always mean you're disabled. That it does not mean that. It will not always mean wheelchair. Nothing accessible, anything based with that. Sometimes a disability can mean that you were born with something, you were diagnosed with something, or the way you learn things and interact with the world is different than what most people would. And that's okay because, y'all, it's okay to be different. It's okay to be different. Trust me. It is okay to be different. Like, first of all, I will say this. And the thing is, some disabilities you can't tell that we are disabled because some disabilities aren't by appearance, which is okay because, y'all, that should not be something we should think toward. Is, oh, I can tell you had this because of structure. No, because you never know what someone has until you get to know that person really well. Because it takes a lot in you to get to know them to where you can feel trusted. You know, like y'all, like I said, ever since I was an infant, I was diagnosed with epilepsy for most of my life. And even my parents were also in question of how is my life going to be affected, and and just their thoughts were like most parents and thinking, is she going to walk, is she going to be able to go to school, is she going to be able to live a normal life like most people, you know? And again, after my brain surgery, when doctors said all that, y'all, I like I said, I proved them wrong big time. Because y'all, that means God's good right there. And you know, it takes a lot just to show that there's proof that you hear things and we don't always want to believe it. We don't. Because at the end of the day, we know, we know what we believe in is actually right. Like I said, doctors can say, hey, there might be a chance that you might not be able to walk, talk, or even do stuff. When sometimes, even though they're professionals, sometimes they can say that, sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not. But all at that point we can do is believe and think the opposite of that. And y'all, two almost 2-year old me believe that. And look at her now, who's almost 21, saying that again. Like, at this point, if I had to, if honestly, if I had to, if I had the ability to rethink that back and I had that memory to re-talk to 1-year old me, almost 2-year old me at that time and re-say it to her, I would be saying a lot of the things I'm saying now. Because imagine how she was feeling at that time. Imagine how she was. You know, when you're yo, when you are that young and going under something like that at a super super young age, you don't know how you're gonna do. You don't know how you're gonna feel. And for reference, I was still 1, y'all, but I was a month before I was 2. So September 4th, 2007. Just crazy. But y'all, I needed to, regardless, have that happen because, y'all, let me think this. Because think it, let me just say this though, real quick. Think about it. Imagine if I did not back then do that. Imagine what right now would be looking like. It would probably be looking like a train wreck. Probably. And us still going in circles all day, every day. And I'm thankful I did that because it helped save my life and have a chance at being a normal 20-year-old who's learning the ropes to adulthood and just doing everything, you know? And even I went through a lot of chaos experiences back then, but that does not mean what we think it does. And um and I will say this, anytime I've approached, whether it be a friend of mine or some of y'all on here, um, or just anytime I go to even say that story to anybody, whether if it's y'all or family, friends, neighbors, or anyone I come across, they all, mostly everyone's had the same shock reaction that even y'all are witnessing, and I am rethinking that to myself is wow, that is something. Because think about it, y'all. When you're somebody like me back then who went through a tragic, chaotic event like that, yeah, that's powerful. That's intense. And that's a testimony right there to always have in mind because you don't know what life is like every day for most people. Hey there, Brahma, how are you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. I need to look through my chat in a minute, but yeah, you know? And y'all can see why I kind of repeat that sometimes to a lot of y'all, but it's because y'all it that part of me, that part of my testimony, like little parts of me, that isn't just me saying it to say it. That has a lot of motivation and actual life tips to go off of. So when I'm saying it a bunch to y'all and just saying it to y'all, I'm saying that life is not always good. Life might be points where you're gonna have to go through scary and unknown things that you don't know if you're gonna wake up tomorrow. You don't know if you're gonna survive a day. You don't know if you're gonna make it, you know? But to re but to rethink a lot what you've went through, what your body's been through, and for me especially, to think about what almost 2-year-old me went through just to get to where I'm now. I oof, it's crazy. But and y'all, it's always good to have some part of your childhood that might have you might have had to go through something similar or crazier. Or there was a part of your childhood that was tough and you didn't know how you were going to make it. And when you retell friends and others that story, it helps them out to know that they're not alone too, because who knows? Maybe that person's also went through tough, um, any kind of tough time in their life, and they don't realize that they're not the only one that's alone. And it makes them feel that they're not alone in this, that they know someone who's either went through something similar or know what it's like to be in their shoes. And some of y'all, who knows, maybe one of y'all might have went through something hard back then, or some of you recently have been going through a lot, or you don't know how to react to you don't really think to yourself, what part of me hits me the most, to where whenever I tell somebody about it, I get impacted on it, and I make others feel impacted on them, and they continue to feel great, you know? And y'all, it's always, y'all, don't ever be afraid to ever share little bits with friends, family, or even coworkers. Like, I remembered, I think it was my first week when I was working. I remember telling one of my coworkers that story too, and even she was effectively hit as well. Like, everyone else has reacted, which is that good. Like, wow, kind of that belief where, wow, there is hope at the end of the tunnel for anything, when some people might just hear the end of it, when really that's not always the case for anything, you know? But just so y'all know, you got this. I'm proud of y'all, regardless of what you do, say, think, or anything. But let me look through the comments real quick as well. Just so that way, because I know I've missed a good chunk of y'all. So give me just a minute to look through that. Let's see here. What have I not read? Hang on. Okay, right here. This is where I left off. Let's say you live 100 years. That's not a long time. The Earth is billions of years old, and 100 years is a breath to the Earth. Stop the negative thoughts that others put in you. God bless you, and look at you thriving. Russell, yep, that's what I mean. Bella, it's a bit hard to not be a people pleaser. I'm trying, because being a people pleaser puts people in your first priority, and it's wrong. And you're doing your best, ma'am. Yes, I am, Bella. That's what I mean. Every day for me is not gonna look like and think it does. Like, there might be a day I wake up feeling great and going with my day. Then there might be a day where I'm waking up and just having one of my tough days with my disability, you know? Like, aka side effects is the main point that it can happen. Is one day I can wake up feeling good and carry on the world, and the next day I can just have one of my side effects and just feel miserable about it, because that's how I feel when I get them. Is I do not have the gut in me to do it all the time, and I just wish I didn't go through it all the time, you know? And so, let's see, I work in healthcare, so it satisfies the people in my mind, but the gravity that I get for being there to please people, to actually appreciate it, you cannot put a price on that exactly. Let's see. Remember, you do not get buried with the money you make. You get you get buried with experiences you share with others. That's determination. Mhm. Yes, agreed. If you if you lay in bed and say, "Whoa, is me," you'll never thrive. Show up for you. Exactly. Exactly, Russell. That's one thing that some of us don't realize is really, and to go off of Bella too a little bit. Yeah, like you can't always try to please people, and even there's days that, like, I'll just say this. Every day we try to please or even try to make others feel happy and show up for them every day when sometimes we don't give ourselves the credit, you know? Like, there's days that sometimes I'm not realizing that I'm giving myself the same level of credit as I give my boyfriend or my friends. Because, for example, my boyfriend has been there with me since day one. And then a lot of my friends have been there as well since day one. And they all have been there for me during times when I needed them most. And they've always have been there for me. And I'm thankful they have never tried to judge me for it, ever. And that's what you should have as a group of people who you can rely on and trust by to be there for you when you need them most and foremost, during any situation, whether if it's health related or not. Like, y'all, my boyfriend's been there with me through so much, even ever since we were dating. Because even I told him about me, and I mean, even though we knew each other like 2 years prior to us, like, no, I'd be saying 3 years prior, 2 to 3 years prior to us dating, because we've known each other since sophomores. We both were sophomores in high school when we knew each other because we were really good friends at that time. And I didn't think we would end up dating, honestly. My mind did not think once, but my senior year was a big shock for me. And I'm thankful that he and I are together because, oh boy, if I probably regretted all that, y'all, who knows what I would have been looking like back then. But at the same time, he's made me feel like he's made me a better person, but also not just a better person, but he's made me feel like I'm loved and I know what love looks like. And yeah, that's what you should be doing when you are dating someone that good. And that, you know, and even, y'all, a little bit about him is he's also, and something kind of with the both of us that we have in common here is we both went through tragic experiences back then. Um, like we both went through traumatic experiences. He went through a lot of like family traumatic experiences. I went through a lot of health traumatic experiences and just the reality of knowing what life was going to look like for me. And looking at the boat at me and him now, and we're literally in our second year, almost third year of dating. Wow, it says, y'all, that says a lot with us two. Like, that really says a lot. Couples that have been through a lot, even before dating, is one thing. But going through something kind of in your relationship, that it kind of says it too, but it just does not give it full, like, actual feel until you both learn from each other and kind of get to know each other's story a little bit more and all that. And even he's told me kind of some of it. And, it was very sad, honestly, to think that he went through that back then. And he did not deserve to honestly go through that, y'all. Because some of the things, let's just say, back then was his birth parents, let's just say, um, his dad, um, let's just apparently say that his dad ended up going to jail for not doing best things, and then the mom he's told me about is, I think he's told me that his biological mom moved like states away, and so they had to go into the system for a good while. And then I think it was his aunt or someone of theirs that took them in. And since then, I think it might have been his aunt, I think, that took him in. But ever since then, it's just been pretty good. And, whew, that's crazy. But, and, um, and y'all, something he told me at one point too, because one time when he and I were hanging out, he and I were just, were talking and asking each other different questions on stuff. And at one point, I think I asked him something, or he asked me. I think I asked him something, and then on something I asked him, and this was when he he and I kind of went a good. This is kind of when he and I kind of went a little bit deep into each other, and something very, very, and from what he told me about something that I asked him, um, it made me wanna, it made me, it literally made me wanna cry from what he told me. And at one point, I guess, in his life, I guess he almost wanted to commit, what, to himself. And, oh, y'all, he didn't though. But even that's just, y'all, like, the thing is, like, oh, that's what I mean. Like, when he told me that, though, that night, one of the nights that he was with me, I about wanted to start freaking crying my eyes out in that moment because I did not think, I never thought he would ever be the person, even though it was like a long time ago. But I would have never thought he would have been the person that almost had the thought of that. Whew, it's crazy. And so, yeah, it was crazy. I'm not gonna lie. But, I mean, y'all, you learn about so much from a person from their experience. And that just goes to show a lot. And even how far you've come to. And even how far they've came. And for him, I'm just so proud of him for what he does. And just, I'm proud for how far he's come within the 20 years that he's lived and the 2.5 years we've been dating. Because, takes a lot, and it takes a lot just to. It takes a lot in each other to get the gut to fully um share parts of something that happened to them or they almost wanted to do something to themselves. But sometimes sharing it with certain people, of course, they'll hit differently. But of course, when it's you and your partner, it's like, it's gonna hit you regardless. Like, for me, it did. Because I was like, oh my gosh. It was sad, but, oh, I was like, wow, wow. Like, even I was in shock, and I would have never thought that my baby would have almost, he would have almost at some point back then. I don't know what, I forgot how old he even told me he was, or even if he even remembered saying that to me. Because, like I said, there were a couple of points he went through a lot from what he was going through, and it was just tough. Even like I said, I was crying when he told me a lot of that. And, you know, like I said, learning from each other's experiences, that's one thing. But, anyway. But yeah, I'm gonna keep reading my comment section. Anyone here like Michael Jackson? He's cool, to answer your question, Tyler. But he's a good artist that everyone's heard of back then. Bro, I saw you came in here. Paulo, I see you're new here. And all that. But, yeah. And so, Russell saying here. So I'm 34. Things I wish I knew when I was 20 play play the long game of life. Take one thing you love and put everything into it. You'll never work a day in your life. Oh wow. Life is good. Okay, so that part. Yeah. Yeah, there's people that do suck, but that's because their brains don't even have ability to work and even process stuff correctly than we can. But yeah. Graham, I see you're new here. Welcome. I'm in the hospital right now. Oh my gosh, Graham, I'm praying and hoping that you get through what you're going through and that God's with you. you know, just have hope and just know that God's with you. Don't destroy you. Exactly, Russell. Hey there, Beyond, I see you're new here. Welcome. I lost my left leg and developed and oh my gosh. Sepsis infection and what does I read here? Hang on. And I have been here since Monday. Oh my gosh. Sepsis is like the chaotic, like the most chaotic, sad thing to have because even sepsis can lead to, like, there's so many things that can cause it, like mainly an infection somewhere. And yeah, and even I've even have watched a couple of people's stories that have also have had that condition, and them either, like, a couple people either had to get a body part of theirs amputated or half of it amputated, or some got lucky and got on it in time and was able to keep everything intact. And I mean, sepsis is like a life or death situation where it's like you hope to notice signs quick before the worst possibly can happen, because you really never know what's gonna happen. I'm thankful I have not had it, but I've seen stories on here of people either from a few years ago or way before me have had it and have said their stories, and it's wow, it's gotten to me. So, who I'm definitely praying and hoping that God's with you and that you fight this, and that today's not going to be the day that your sentence is done. Because God knows that He still has a lot in you. And, God knows that with anybody and all that. And so, full. You can be your own worst enemy. Your mind can take you places, dark places, if you have the right mindset going into exactly. And on someone working in the hospital, I've seen miracles every day. Yes, you are, Graham. Keep fighting. Oh, how much more I can take. Graham, I'll just say this now. Don't try to say that to yourself, because if you're trying to say that to yourself and saying you don't know how much more you can take, that is the freaking enemy getting into you right there. Instead of all of that, you should really be praying and asking God to heal you and to help you get through this and fight the good fight, and don't think the worst of it. Alright? And just be strong for your family and friends and everyone around you that's supporting you, because trust me, sepsis is not the best thing. Not even the best thing to get. And it's like the worst thing. It's probably twice as worse as cancer, but just remember, you got this. We're all rooting for you. Alright? You're surrounded by a good community of us that are there for one another, and, you know, we're not giving up on each other. We're not. Because that's not what we do here. We do not give up on one another, not even ourselves. At the end of the day, we just do our best to stick it to our ability and fight the good fight. I've seen people have massive strokes, complete one half of their body, and go 60 days later they're moving in. Yeah, there's a lot. We will give you all the tools. Let's see, I'm just trying to catch up to y'all's chat, so it's taking me like 10 minutes. I want you to know there'll be setbacks. It's how you keep a good mindset and the support. Russell has a good point. In life, there's gonna be setbacks regardless. Not just health wise, but with anything. Like, y'all, for me, my setbacks mainly have been my epilepsy side effects, and I've not liked going through it. I've hated myself going through it, and I wish I didn't have to go through it every day, but during those, I try my own best to do what I normally do and remain calm in myself and not make myself go crazy over just the reality of me, you know? So, yeah. So, Russell really has good points, I'm not gonna lie. Like, we all need to be taking notes here on some of this just to remember ourselves because, wow, it's incredible. You'll recover and you'll. Okay, good. Now we're caught to the chat. Your comments will be reported and the user will be dismissed from the live. Mark, I see you're new here. How are you doing? Let's switch it up. What kind of music do you enjoy? Yeah, that's a good question. Um, I'll say this. Sorry, I'm just now catching up to the chat. But to answer your question, Russell, um, I probably would say either country or even romance. I kind of do all kinds though. I kind of do most kinds except rap. Because rap is way too chaotic. Like, it's got a whole lot of fast, just confusion to me. Hey there, Bubag. How are you doing? And I could tell you're new here too, so welcome. And all that. Anyway, we're just hanging out, y'all. But, yeah. Ooh, there's so many good country artists out there. Oh gosh. There's so many good ones. I'm probably gonna, oh gosh. What do I say is a good one? Oh, it's so hard to pick. Because there's so many good country artists out there. And it's hard to, like, pick one. Because it's like, half of them are really good. I probably would say Keith Urban is really good. Um, I would say he's pretty good. Um, I would also say, oh, who else is good? Uh, who else am I thinking of? Luke Bryan's pretty good. Um, Blake Shelton's really good. Um, who else is pretty good that I know that's like on fire out there? Oh gosh. Hmm. Who was I thinking? But I mean, there's so many good country artists out there that are nailing it out there. But those are just a good few to select. And y'all, for some of you, just to and country songs to list off. Oh wait, another good country artist that's now coming to mind too is Russell Dickerson, which is also fire as well. And probably I will say to list songs out of some of them. Y'all with Keith Urban, a song of his that I have liked is called Is You're Gonna Fly, which is You're Gonna Fly by him, which is fire. And then Russell Dickerson, a favorite from his is Happen to Me. Oh, so good. And then let me think. Blake Shelton, a favorite of his I've seen is oh, there's so many good old Blake Shelton that are like top hits. Um oh, what's a good favorite out of Blake Shelton that's like coming to mind? The Honeybee is a good one. Um and then let me think. What else is coming to my mind? Um but yeah, I mean there's so many good stuff. Oh my gosh, yes. Morgan Wallen's really good too. Oh, another good country artist that's good too is Jason Aldean as well. And then another good country artist out there is oh, what's his name? Give me a second. I'm thinking. Is I need to look his name for a second. But um hang on. I'll find it. But I think hang on. I'll find it in a minute, but I think it's think it's like Joe something, I think. I need to look and see. But, yeah, I'll look in just a minute 'cause but there's a song that I just now rethought of that I used to listen to like crazy back in the day. Like a good few years ago. That's still pretty good to this day. Um, but yeah. And so, there something like that has meaning, not just business and money that that's cool. Yeah. Um, yeah. They're all pretty good stuff out there these days. But yeah. Oh yeah, I think okay, wait, I think I'm kind of getting the country person I was thinking of just now. But there's this one country artist that's also really good which um so there's this one song called Sunny 75 um Joe by Joe Nicholas, which is fire as well. That was like one of my top, like one of my crazy top favorites from like a few years ago. And y'all, even the vibe of it, I just it's crazy good. Um yeah, Jay Saldine's really good, and so a song like his, for example, I can bring out there is I forgot what it was. Oh gosh. Hang on, I'm thinking. Hmm. What is it? Oh, but I mean, he's got all kinds of good stuff. I mean, a lot of countries have a lot of good stuff and all that. But yeah, see, music therapy is amazing. It's always there when you're up and when you're down. The same song can have different meanings depending upon your mood. Yeah, definitely. Russell, that's a good one too. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good ones too. Oh, god it. Good grief. But, yeah, I mean, again, another good point as well. Because, like, it's one of those and all that. And even some songs y'all can even you can really think about, because even to me there's some songs that I've listened to that either have made me thought about me and my boyfriend, or some songs I've listened to have made me think about previous previous experiences or anything that come to my mind a bunch. So I definitely can relate to yeah, all kinds of stuff. Philip, I see you're new here. But yeah. How many blessings from Texas? Hey, how you doing? There, Philip. And that's so okay, hang on, that's cool. We both earned it. Okay, I was trying to say that's pretty cool. That's funny. Philip, we're in the exact same state. That's funny. That's pretty cool though. At the same time. That's funny. And Texas, I'll tell you, Texas is a good state to live in, but at the same time, Texas weather can be very unpredicting. But also, yeah, it can be very unpredicting. Like one day it can be sunny, one day it can be rainy the next. It could just, or it could be one of those things where, oh hey, it's sunny for like the first half, and then it rains for like 20 minutes, and the next day it can look like is a cold front comes in, or it starts raining hard. Next day, sunny like normal with good temps. And then next day you can get is it being super humid. Yeah, Texas weather can do all kinds of crazy things like that are very unpredictable. And then yeah, that's wild. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, I mean, yeah. Texas weather, but y'all, also the Texas heat. Oh my gosh. It's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. One bit. Like, it's bonkers. And all that. Like, it actually is crazy. That's cool, Russell. Nice. Um, so, um, yeah. Hey there, Pink. I see you're new here. So welcome. How are you doing? Hopefully, you're doing pretty well and all that. Mine, I y'all. But we're just hanging out. At the moment, I actually need to text my boyfriend here in a minute and see how his day at work went since he got off work like an hour ago. What's funny is he and I both worked today. Um, and all that. But the only difference was I worked this morning and he worked this afternoon going into night hours. That's good to hear that you're doing well. They're pink. Um, but yeah, like and to kind of give you guys my estimate, like, cause yeah, like for example, I worked this morning up to early afternoon, and then um after that, my boyfriend worked like an hour after I got off work, all the way through an hour ago. So, so for him, he worked afternoon going into night shift, and for mostly he works evenings going into night shift, but sometimes afternoons, like early afternoons, going into night shift. And for me, I work mornings going into early afternoons. So for me, it's mostly this like the direct start, like the direct opening hours of the workday up till like an hour after the afternoon started and all that. And yeah, it's exhausting, but at the end of the day, at the end of the day, I love what I do, but also, y'all, at the end of the day, I get exhausted. Like, I'm thankful. Like, at the end of the day, I'm thankful what I do as like my after work routine is I get home, I relax, I put my stuff down, I check in with a couple of my friends to see how they're doing, and also with my boyfriend a little bit to see how he's doing. And then I relax for a bit, and then um not too long after that, I crash for an hour, um, just to kind of reset my brain for the rest of the day, and then after that, just kind of relax, because the thing is, when you're me and you when you're like me that works like 4 hours, it's exhausting, y'all. Like, and some people, I will say this, some people will think 4 hours is like that. Nuh-uh. Y'all, 4 hours is like eternity. Like, for me, it feels like I'm working my boyfriend's hours. Like, he works anywhere between 4 to 7.5 hours, just depending on the day. because for him, the time frame for him, it can vary, unlike me, where I've got like an estimate schedule that I actually have that actually is the same, which is awesome. And that's the nice part about having a schedule where it's like the same time, because then your brain's not like, okay, so what time again do I need to be waking up? Yeah, you know, you be like, okay, cool. Set my alarm for this time and try to be at the door by this time. And, and you don't have to try to think too hard as well with a whole lot. And so, um, hey there, Autumn. Um, Not much, just relaxing. You, all that. I do want to say I really enjoyed interacting with you and Grim, and I wish nothing but the best for everyone. Unfortunately, I'm heading to bed. God bless you. Alright, Russell. I'm glad that you came in here and all that. And just so you know, the next day that I will be live after this, so if you ever wanna stop in again, is Friday, most likely next. Is all next most likely be on here on Friday sometime. So, yeah. But yeah, I mainly go live every other day. But yeah, it was awesome that you joined us and all that. It was also really fun having you in here as well. And that goes for anybody that comes in here too. Is I do go live every other day and all that, so that way, because I mean, it's good to always take time for yourself too, but yeah, so if there's ever times where anyone besides Russell ever wanna come join me ever on one matter days that I'm on here, you know, you can feel free to and all that. Alright, good night, Russell. Hopefully, um, your day tomorrow goes well and all that. But hopefully you have a great night for you. But anyway, we're gonna be in here for a good little bit longer. But yeah, and all that. So, um, hang on, let me actually get a hold of my boyfriend real quick and see how his day at work was. Let me actually get up. Oh my gosh. You guys are gonna be sitting right here for just a second. Alright. Sorry, I was just texting my person. Alright. Sorry, I was texting my boyfriend to see how his day at work was since he got off an hour ago and all that. I mean, we both worked today, but yeah. So, I mean, for me, I'm thankful to be off for the rest of the week. And I don't have to be back at work until the 13th. That's just crazy. Yeah, I'm thankful it's not. Yeah, so I'm thankful that I don't have to be at work until Monday, which is amazing. And y'all, it's always good to have a day off work, cause we all deserve to get a little bit of time off work just to rewind, but also to, it's good to rest, cause it gives us time to reset and rewind from the work week. Also, just slowly get prepared for the next week, because next week is week 7, which is crazy. Like, I can't believe I would have been working for a month and 7 weeks next week. That's crazy. But if I'm still keeping track, y'all, I'll be at 7 weeks, which is funny on Monday. Even though we're officially a month into it. But yeah. And so anyway, that's just what's happening there. But yeah. And so yeah, we're just chilling, y'all. But yeah, I mean, it feels great not having to, at least for me, not for the next few more days. I don't have to be waking up super early at the freaking crack of dawn and all that, not till Sunday for church. But, yeah. But other than that, I am thankful that I am able to get a good few days where I can sleep in fully and not have to worry about my alarm until Sunday night. Well, basically Saturday night going into Sunday morning. And then, yeah, just crazy. And so, um, yeah, it's pretty crazy. But, um, yeah, so, um, yeah. Anyway, that's just what's going on there, though, y'all. But, um, yeah, it's pretty crazy and all that. Yeah. And also, just to update everybody in general with AJ and how he's doing, he's been doing good. With, I mean, with us two, it's the same usual. We're both working, and even just all the things. And with work with him, it seems like it's still going pretty well with him, and then with me, it's still going pretty good. It's exhausting, but it's pretty good for the most part. And we both today worked. from and then and from the time so we both work a lot of different time zones. So for me, I worked from 9 to 1 this morning, and that went well. Oh, and speaking of him now, he just updated me. Hmm, that's good. Um, I mean, y'all, what can I say? So, but um, yeah, but for him, it's been going well too, and even he just updated me, letting me know that work was good for him too. So that's good to hear. So proud of him. But um, yeah, and so yeah, so really with us, it's been going well. And with me, I mean, today we both worked. I worked from 9 to 1, and he worked from 2:30 to 11 today. And with me, I'm off till Monday. Oh, nice and new. Oh gosh, he's so cute. I'm sorry, y'all, but he was just sending me little emojis below, which so freaking hot. But yeah, the best part with me is I'm officially off till Monday, and yeah, and then AJ is back in swing tomorrow and Friday, and then he's off Saturday. Um, and then Sunday he's back at it, and then I believe he's also off on Monday, and I'm back at it Monday. Yeah, pretty crazy. And so, um, yeah. But I mean, yeah, that's really updates with us in terms of him in general, but also me in general, and then just both our work schedules combined. Because, yo, even there's some days where either one of us is working and the other one's off, and then there's days where we're both working, and then days where both of us are off, or and then there's also days where one of us alternates days. Like there's been times where either I've worked and he's off. For example, Monday was that kind of day where I worked and he was off Monday, and then Tuesday he worked, I was off. Today we both worked. And then now what now it's looking like is tomorrow he works, I'm off. Friday the same, and then Saturday we're both off. Sunday he works, I'm off. Monday I work, he's off. Tuesday so far he works, I'm off. Wednesday we both work. Thursday I'm off. Actually, fun fact, Wednesday actually I get paid that day. So excited. Get my third paycheck as of next Wednesday, the 15th. Can't believe that's crazy already. Like, how? And then, yeah, next Thursday, yeah, Thursday, I'm off, he's working, and then Friday, he's working and I'm off. And then and then I'll have to have him text me the next half of his schedule, because I usually have him send me it so I can keep up with it. So that way I don't forget and go, because, I don't want to be the girlfriend who goes, oh shoot, you're working on this day. I totally forgot. Kind of a person. And all that. And plus, it just helps me out to remember. And even I give him mine too. So, again, for each other, we both know, like, oh shoot, I'm working this day and you forgot. It's, you know? especially since we're both since me and AJ both are the type of people that will forget sometimes, and sometimes might forget constantly or even less constantly. It's always good to still retell them. It's still good even for us to say to each other, our schedule, just to help us out. But yeah, it helps the both of us out so we're not going crazy and being like, oh snap, and making us feel guilty of each other. Hey there, Desert. I can see you're new here, so welcome. How are you doing? Hopefully, you're doing well and all that. But right now, we're just hanging out at the moment. But, yeah. Enjoying the evening and yourself. I'm doing pretty good. I'm just relaxing and all that. And all that. And even I was texting with my boyfriend a second ago to see how his day at work went, which went well. And all that since he got off work like an hour ago. But I'm on here with y'all, so it gets trickier to check in back and forth. So I have to go to my other device to send it to him without the live cutting off and all that. And so, yeah. But yeah, we're just hanging out and all that. But can't really remember. Alright. Good night there, Brahma. Hopefully work for you tomorrow goes well. And all that. But yeah. Um Gotcha. How was your day? My day was long, busy. My day was busy but good. It was just a typical, just long day at work, but that's just the reality of it. But other than that, it was pretty good. Other than me being super exhausted after working my tail off like usual for 4 hours and all that. And so, um, but, yeah. And all that. But, yeah. So, that's just what's going on there, though. Hey there, Stitch Lover. How are you doing? Yeah, I feel ya. I work 10 hours? Actually, I shouldn't be surprised by that, because I'm very similar, like, total hours is similar to that. But that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, with me, I work 4 hours. Like, I literally work 4 hour shifts, but total, at this point, it's varying. Like, it's going up at this point. Like, I just found out because for me, I actually, the way that I clock in and clock out is I actually manually have to write the times down. So a lot of times I'm having to write 9 a.m. when I'm clocking in, then out, and then 1, because that's my hours, is 9 to 1. on Mondays and Wednesdays for me. And then also on the side putting the amount of hours I worked, which is 4 hours. And toward the very end of that work period, I have to calculate all that to see the total, like complete total amount of hours I've worked. And y'all, when I tell you this, I'm surprised the hours I worked within the payment period, like altogether, is 20. Yeah, I'm saying that right. 20 hours. Even though even though I'm scheduled Mondays and Wednesdays for 4 hours. And I mean, y'all, that shocked me. I'm like, dang, I've only been working for a full on month. And I mean, that's just crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Cause, like, gosh. Like, y'all, how? Like, how the heck? That's wild. But, um, excuse me. But yeah. But yeah, I'm saying 20. That's wild. And all that. But, and that doesn't include my commute in the traffic, so it would be another two. Oh gosh. That's crazy. 12. Okay, I see you'd be close to me too, but gosh, that's crazy. And all that. But, yeah, thankfully for me, I only work 2 days a week for 4 hours, mainly, luckily. So, thankfully, it's nothing crazy to where it takes up a lot of time. Even though I get so tired, cause y'all, 4 hours to me feels like eternity. Because a lot of us can kind of think 4 hours will fly before you know it. Heck nah, it does not. Mm-mm. 4 hours for me almost feels like I'm working my boyfriend's hours, which his ranges anywhere between 4 to 7.5 hours, just depending on the workday. Because his hours are like bonkers. Like, one day, like, who knows? There could be one day he's working 7 hours, one day he's working 6, one day he's working 4, you name it. But it's crazy. It just depends on the exact workday and time of that. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like he works evenings and he works evenings into night shifts and then afternoons going into night shift. So it's chaotic and all that. Yeah, crazy. But um yeah, it's crazy. And so you know what? Actually, I will show you guys a little bit of us. But I'll show you how hot he turned out. Look at him! Yo, look at how good he turned out for his work outfit today. But look at him. He's such the hottest janitor now. Oh my god. It's crazy. But it's crazy, y'all. And then I'll show you guys immediately after this. And for some of you that don't know, he is a janitor at Walmart in his area. And he's been doing that job for now, I think it's now total of, I think now 2 months. 2 or 3 months. I think it's 2. Hang on. I'm trying to calculate in my head. It was when I started. Yeah, it's 2 months because we were very close and gapped. So yeah, it's wow, wow, that's crazy. 2 months now? Wow, that's insane. I'm just not thinking that to myself. That's crazy. But yeah, see, look how hot he is. Ugh, it's crazy. And then here's me, which with both of our jobs, we both can wear comfortable wear, thankfully, for the both of us and all that. Um, and so, um, yeah. So, and for me, with me, I am a thrift store employee. So for me, technically, for me, you can say I'm in retail. Um, So I do a lot of the things um, from linens to rearranging the store a little bit. I kind of do almost everything except for front desk right now. So pretty much half of everything else. Um, so an example, racks. So for example, I do racks, linens, making sure that all the shoes are organized because we have shoes, and make sure that even with racks, that also means making sure size clothing is in the right group and not extra large getting mixed in with the 2XLs, or making sure that a small is not with the large, or the large is with the extra smalls, you name it. And then linens, meaning making sure that most of them are folded and hung up for display, but also that way people can start buying them. So that's anything from blankets to bed sheets and bed sets and all that. And y'all, linens is like a workout for me. Because for reference, I'm only 5'3". Like, yeah, for reference, I'm 5'3". And y'all, occasionally doing a lot of that, it's it's almost in my head. If I had to describe it, it's kind of like a war zone where I'm having to fight it, where literally I'm having to almost attack either a blanket or something to cooperate with how short I am. And some of these things are longer than me, so it's like that's why I say it's almost like a war zone, because you don't know when you're about to face a sheet, a blanket, you name it, until you're get like today I had to probably go to war maybe one or two things just to get it to cooperate, or three. But yeah, it's crazy. And so, um, yeah, and so, and then also I also do other things too, like putting other items on shelves that go there, and and kind of just do anything, honestly. And even sometimes I display things for certain points of the year. Like I actually a month ago, actually at one point displayed a few things out for the 4th of July, which was pretty cool. So I got to kind of decorate parts of the front area of the store. So when people came in to buy stuff for July 4th and all that, then they can see some of that. And y'all, and from when I came into work this morning, it already seems like we're already getting prepared for fall to get here already. It just seems like that because a lot of fall decor is slowly getting added, which is crazy in the middle of July, you know? And so, I'm like, dang, we're already getting fall stuff out in the middle of July? When that could wait a month or two? It's crazy. But, yeah. And so, um, yeah. Have you ever thought about doing only OnlyFans? Hmm. Actually, I don't even know actually about that. To answer your question, there, Desert Rat, and all that. But, um, I meant OnlyFans. To answer your question, I actually don't know actually on that. You have a oh gosh. Thanks. But um yeah, y'all, we're just hanging out though at the moment and all that. But yeah. Mm, excuse me there. But um it's pretty crazy. And all that. But we're just relaxing, hanging out. But yeah. So yeah. Hey there, Pink Vision. That's a cool name. I can tell that you're new, I think. So welcome. Same here. Laying in my bed too. That's cool. Yeah, I'm just laying in my bed, just relaxing. Which is good. It's good to relax because you never know when there might be a time in the world where it's not gonna always be. You're not gonna always be able to relax for a few hours and all that, you know? You just never know when that day happens. And it feels like you're having to be on foot. And so, of course, and like I said, it's always good to relax when you can because then you actually are giving your body time to relax itself because it's been on the go since you woke up. Like for me, y'all, it's been on foot since like 6:15 this morning. Yeah, since like 6:15 to 9 a.m. this morning because of me getting ready for work and then me going to work and then me working on foot for all 4 hours and then coming home and relaxing and then after that I sat back down for a bit, relaxed, chatted with some of my friends and all that, and then crashed for an hour to recharge my body a little bit and then just continue with the rest of the day and all that. But yeah, pretty crazy. Yeah. What time is it? What time is it by you? It's 12:45 a.m. over here. Oh my gosh. Girl, it's the same over here too. It's also. Oh, excuse me. Oh. It's also 12:45. Over here, excuse me. Good grief. At the moment, that's pretty cool. We definitely need time to slow down and rest and maybe TMI. Sorry, but I had a rest period this month. I am exhausted. Pink, you're totally good. Trust me. Yeah, and I mean, let me say this. I do agree with you for sure. Because, we all do need the time to rest and all that too. And all that. Good gosh, I'm trying to get food. But yeah, so what else? I'm still around, just talked with my doctor and nurses. Okay, cool. Graham, thanks for letting me know. Hope everyone is okay. I just wanted to say you look. Hey there, flagpole. I can see that you're new here, and first of all, thanks, but it's nothing too crazy here. I'm just in my PJs and my hair tied back in a ponytail. Nothing, nothing crazy. I will tell you that. I'll tell you that for sure. And, um, Christian, I can tell you're new here, I think. So welcome. Yeah, you can. Hey there. Who else do I see? Slytherin. There we go. I was like, what was that for a second? How are you doing? But yeah. Let me on stream so I can. Oh god. All that. You seem really chill. I said I need more chillness in life. Flagpole. Flagpole, thanks. I appreciate it. And Pink, yeah, I am chill. I will say this. With me, you're never gonna catch me being stupid on here like some people are today. There might be maybe one or two occasions that I'm having to maybe deal with somebody, but that's just them. But mostly I'm pretty chill back. Like, we all should be, because, some people will test your limits until you cannot do it, you know. And I swear, if someone ever has to get to that point where I'm having to lose my last nerve, y'all do not want to see that. Like, I'll say that now. Y'all would, y'all do not want to see that side of me come out. Because that is like the ugliest side of me. And and honestly, y'all, I have had to, I've in general had that happen to me before with other situations that from like a while back ago. Like, actually, y'all, fun fact, my boyfriend actually had to hear me for like probably the first time in a relationship, he had to hear me freaking lose my cool. But it was not him, it was because of a situation that I was in. But he also got added on to it when he wasn't even in it. It was obviously over. But it was like a while back ago. And, ugh, so, yeah. So, um, yeah, and all that. But yeah. Seabass, I see you're new here. Welcome. Good evening, and ladies and gentlemen. Hmm. But yeah. Yeah, and for everyone who's just now coming in, I hope you guys are doing good and all that. But yeah. What happened to your to answer your question, how do I even say your name without butchering it? Hang on. I'm just gonna get you to get hints as to call you it. Awesome. I'm gonna call you that for now until I get something straight. To answer your question, I have what's called. Sorry, switching because a lot of times they will do that to me. Um, so with me, with my eye here, I have what's called lazy eye, and that just means one of my eyes will look the opposite direction of where it should be looking. So, for example, your eyes should be looking straight. Well, for me, my right eye looks to the right and my left looks straight. Sometimes it might switch because of weird eye twitch motion. But um and the reason why that happened to me was because it wasn't it was because after um um brain surgery I went under an intense brain surgery when I was almost 2 years old due to my epilepsy and my seizure history. And like my seizures were getting to the point where it was chaotic and it was like finding ways to manage it was wild back then. And so one of the things we could do to help some of it was to move most of the right side of my brain to just to control it. And so um after all that and when my brain was slowly healing and repositioning where it's supposed to be, S- somewhere probably in between that was when it started to occur, but it wasn't noticeable, like fully noticeable for me until like 5th grade. But I really didn't see it a whole lot as a whole complaint. But the only thing with me that I really could think to try to do was wear glasses just to see if it would correct. Even I've tried just wearing glasses in general just to see if it would self correct on its own, but it's been not even doing that. But I've also in general had bad vision too since 5th grade. But um, there are other things people can do about it too. Is you can wear an iPad. You can do prism glasses, which are good for preview vision. But then you can also do surgery as well. But for me, when I even asked about it at my last eye doctor appointment, because I actually did want to bring it up and see thoughts, for me doing either um, prism glasses or an eye patch at this point, it would be my eye would be way it would be far too damaged to even work because how far along damage it's already getting. And so really for me at this point is it's either that if I wanted to get it somewhat fixed, what I could only do at this point is surgery or do nothing about it. And originally I was thinking about, originally I was on the idea of trying to figure out all that, but then until I found out the cost of it, until I found out the freaking cost amount was at least almost $1,000 freaking dollars, which is stupid. I'm like, okay. So, Mike, you know what? Might just be I wait a little while until I maybe think about it. And all that. And just for now, maybe for a little bit, just kind of keep doing the old ways. And just continue to wear glasses and just hope, you know. And with me, the thing is with the surgery, and the thing is with surgery for me in my case is they only will be able to fix about 30% of my, because from what I've heard and what my doctors told me, is apparently for my case specifically, um, is if they, even if they could fix mine to a full 100% and all that, I would end up, on top of that, after that surgery, I would end up having double vision plus looking cross-eyed from others' perspective. So from y'all's perspective, you would be seeing me as if I was cross-eyed, which is terrifying and all that. And so, um, yeah. But, yeah, it's crazy, y'all. But it's just one of those things where it's like it's crazy and all that. But yeah. Holy. Mm. Let's see here. I think I don't know what's happening either. I'm just looking through the dang chat. Um, hey Ghost, I see you're new here, so welcome. Um, no, just leave it. Yeah. Almost. Let's see here. Better. Oh, that does not. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Pig, it doesn't. And I mean the thing, and I mean, yeah, but from what I've heard though, I mean, some good things I have heard though is if I did at some point choose to do it, is it would help my eye a little bit. So, for example, it won't like the 30%, like from what I've heard for results, is it'll be a little bit more better than it is. So, so kind of is it'll be moved just a little bit enough to where it won't cause that. But yeah, so for example, if my eye was looking like this one, like if this eye was looking like this, normal, like straight, okay. But yeah, yeah, it's really because but it's also mainly because of the brain surgery and all that, and just the way everything works with me. It would just make me look like I'm cross-eyed to people's perspective, but then also on top of that, I would get double vision. And hell, y'all, we all know what that can do. Because one of the things my eye doctor did was kind of showed me kind of what perspectives it would look like if I was double vision and all that. And when I saw it, about, I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And so, um, it, but yeah, it was pretty crazy. And so, um, and all that. But yeah, would you rather get first of all, Dingo, what the heck of a question is that? But to answer that, maybe the second option. Because, oh god, that, that's, ugh, Lord. Imagine that stupidity part with me when I'm short as heck. It's like a cow trying to do it to a person, which is dumb. But, flagpole, okay, I'm gonna head to bed now. I can barely keep my eyes open. Everyone have a great night, and remember, sunset, don't ever let anyone tell you that you're not beautiful or pretty because you are. Flagpole, don't get me started on crying. But I do appreciate the motivation. Dog, I see you're new. Welcome. Get a free posting. Badger. Hey, that pic I sent you. Michael, I think you are. Thanks. Flagpole, I appreciate it. Luke, I see you're new here. Welcome. Thank you for your comment. Desert Rat. And I, okay, so responded to that. Who else have I not read? Badger, the pig. Wait, okay. Dingo. Would you rather sell, you know what? Or burn down a. Oh gosh. Uh, Probably neither, because the second option sounds freaking terrifying, even for someone who's experienced with kids, which, ugh, my kid brain would not even want to go there, because that'd be terrifying. Yeah, pink vision, I agree with you with that too. I'm like, Where did that come in the conclusion? So I don't blame you. Luke, I've seen a beautiful girl with no hands. God bless her. That was so inspirational. Dang, I know. That's crazy. Badger, hello, how's you doing? Smash, I see you're new here. How are you doing? Did you pre-order GTA 6? No, I've not. My gosh, how long is it gonna take me to read the damn comments? Can we watch you take a... Okay, that comment is... Okay, hopefully it's not just me reading all the comments. That's crazy for people. Luke, if someone says that life is unfair, doesn't that mean that life is fair? Good question. Well, some people some people ask certain questions like that for no reason. Because the thing is, I feel like people that ask certain things like that they're almost talking backwards in their heads almost. Because, I mean, sometimes it kind of depends on the person though. Because, like, I mean, sometimes I could get why maybe someone could ask that, but not everyone with it, I would get. But, um, yeah. So, um, we don't, we don't know how privileged we are just to be able to walk. Exactly. Luke, that's also another good point, too. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, we're not privileged to know all that either. Like, I will say this, I was not privileged enough to know if, after my insane brain surgery from when I was almost 2, if I was gonna even walk, talk, speak, or achieve milestones in life, or even know how I was gonna, what was actually gonna happen. And when now, 20 years later, I'm proven doctors wrong this entire time. Excuse me. It's one of those where you kind of do. But yeah. But yeah. Oh, goodness. If everyone says life is unfair, that means it's indeed unfair. No, I need to say, gosh. Oh my gosh. If you mix mayonnaise and ketchup together, it's the best sauce for their ham. Their ghost double vision sense. No, yeah. First of all, double vision's crazy. I'll say that ghost because the thing is, I don't have it, but I because the thing is with double vision, it's basically like seeing two of the same thing. Like if you're holding a pen in front of you as an example, it's like seeing two pens but you're holding one. Or two phones but you like let's say you're holding one phone but you see two. Yeah, so it's kind of like you see one thing but there's two of it. It's weird. But like I said, that's what that's what my doctor said. That case of if they were if like if I did the surgery but that's if they were able to fix it to a full 100 for my case is I would end up basically getting double vision, which is seeing basically two of the same things all the time, which is ugh, that's frustrating and that's also crazy. And that would drive me insane. I'm not gonna lie. Like that would make me want to go crazy. I'm not gonna lie. One bit. But yeah. So, cause once you be excuse me, I'm having yell like crazy. But anyway, let's see. Can you okay, gonna get caught in. Let's point the chat. Hmm. Anywho, um, but y'all, I'm probably gonna go ahead and get off live because I do need to charge my phone. So I will next come on here on Friday next. So I'll see you guys sometime Friday. So.